Before I start my argument, I would like to rebut the proposition's argument when the proposition's first speaker said that these kids will struggle with extreme financial problems. For middle-class parents, we discuss about finance, right? To support our children, for example, to become a content creator, even though the propositions team says that we don't need expensive tools or expensive equipment. It doesn't need to cost a lot. It is expensive to support our children, but we need to remember to be content creators, for example, we also definitely need good tools. We need supporting tools so that our content looks interesting. At least we need a smartphone that supports, or maybe we need a tripod or lighting or mic, or we also need internet quota or Wi-Fi, and many more, of course. If the equipment we use does not support it, suppose, for example, there are the smartphone we use does not have a good application or camera and others to support it, then what about the fate of the videos we made? What about the content that we produce with makeshift tools? What do the results have good quality with only just with the tools that are, when compared to the times, there is no much content for public consumption, but we can see for ourselves there's interesting content, there's uninteresting content, there is a content that is not interesting but has a good camera, which is clear the video has such a good quality, however vice versa. What is unfortunate is that when a child is able to produce interesting content that are really attracts the attention of the netizens, it is unfortunate that the tools that this child has do not support this child. This child does not have a good camera. This child does have a clear camera, does not have stabilizer. It's like a tripod to take a good video results, or maybe this child doesn't have good lighting so the content is interesting but the video is a bit dark, and then it be seen as unsightly. By looking at the situations that is happening in this world in reality, we also see for ourselves there are so many content creators who produce videos that are very famous, and they certainly don't just rely on makeshift cameras. No, they must have use a good camera, and of course a good camera ones are expensive too. They also need a good mic, they need good lighting, then they also need a lot of sporting equipment. In fact, we find a lot of content creators who have teams like editors. Of course, the teams need to be paid, right? And that's why I totally disagree with this motion that are, as a middle class parents, this house will support their child's choice to prioritize formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skills or career. I would like to talk about 2 points here. Firstly, it's about parenting, and the second is about health. Parenting. For good parents and with good parenting, we really have to respect the choice of our children, but also, as a good and responsible parents, we also have to think about our own children. Why I call it? That is because children are at the age of children, of course, are still unstable. Children only know what they have just learned. For example, a 5 years old child only knows about YouTube because at an early age he was given a smartphone by his parents and has been very fond of YouTube, so he like to choose to become a YouTuber. But why not being given a formal education? The child will not be able to know the true potential that lies within the child. The potential just the child actually have inside them. The child doesn't know because the child is not introduced to other things, to other career. The child is only know what the child just found out. The child was not given the opportunity to get to know the outside world. The child was not given the opportunity to know, oh, it turns out that there is such a thing as a job being a lawyer. Oh, it turned out that all I know is just is just YouTube and become a YouTuber in the future, without knowing that it really takes to be that person. How much and what do you need to learn? What will you get by being a YouTuber? How does it feel to be that profession? Okay, that's the first. Second is about health. As an example, become an audiovisual designer. In addition to thinking about careers and also the futures, of course, we have to think about the child's health. If we take formal education, then what will definitely happen is that we come to school, we are taught by teacher, or even we use a monitor screen, or we study through cell phones or laptops or computers or through our screens. As a parents, we must know the negative impacts of blue light reflection from the monitor screens our child use. If our child becomes an audiovisual designer or content creator or other job that requires us to be in front of the monitor screen all the long time enough, maybe hours, for some hours, or even all day all day facing the blue light from the monitor screen. This will certainly have a huge impact on the health of our child age. And also, if you sit too long to edit or designing at your desk facing the monitor screen with a body that rarely moves, it will certainly cause many bad impacts on health, such as high cholesterol, height, obesity, because our activities are only eating, working, take a bath, drinking, and are constantly in the front of the monitor. So that's why I totally disagree with the government. Thank you.